So, you think you're a real gamer? If you said yes, cuz I have my little controller and I have my little mouse here. I admire your confidence. But what if I was the God-appointed decider of who gets the title of real gamer and who has to live with the shame of being fake? Would you still feel confident? If you still said yes, well, I admire the size of your brass balls. Which is great, cause they should weigh you down faster, right in the bottom once I dump you over the board of this ship we're gonna call Real Gamer today. It's always been a huge conflict online, on social media, who is the real gamer and who are the fake gamers, who's casual, who's professional. And personally I don't really believe in that stuff, you know. Someone plays a game, they're a gamer, at least for that moment, if nothing else. If we're both standing here with our dicks in our hands and stroking it, we're both masturbators, at least for this moment. And if we're doing it in public parks, we're creeps. But for a small moment, let's pretend that I have the power to decide who is fake gamer and who is real gamer. Well, I have 7 games here that I think make you a real goddamn gamer. A gamer I wouldn't fuck with. No Fortnite's not in here. No Call of Duty, no Souls games. Pfft, fakes. I spit on those people. I need to wipe my floors later. That's about enough of theatrical intro, so let's just start seeing through these games that make you a real gamer. Because I decide that shit. But obviously I have to start this video with the God of games. God of gaming franchises. Well, maybe not the best franchise, but in this franchise is my all-time favorite game. And that series, Mega Man. Now before you get too excited and you're all there like, I played Mega Man game. Legends doesn't count. Fuck that shit. That's fake gamers. Well, I didn't play Legends, I played Mega Man X. Huh, it doesn't count. Fuck off. You're fake. Get the hell out of my room. Fakes, then you're thinking Mega Man Zeros and XYs and whatever the shit. Mega Man Football, there was Mega Man Football. Screw that, they're all fakes. Get the hell out of here. What I'm talking about are the OGs for NES. 1, 2, 3, I got 4, 5, 6 there, it's a big pile, so could it be bothered to bring them all here in front of the camera? Screw it, I'll bring them. 4, 5, 6, all here, all complete in a box. Every single one. When I started collecting retro games, this was my only goal. My only goal was to get all NES Mega Man games complete in a box. And I, well, achieved that. Cause I'm a real gamer and I'm a winner. I achieve my goals. I keep them low, but hey, at least I achieved them. Some people's goals are just way too unrealistic, you know, like having 100% success rate when it comes to trusting your farts and not shitting yourself. That's just impossible. Same thing as getting in shape for the summer. It ain't happening. But yes, the NES Mega Mans, this is where it's at. This is the highest point in gaming. You can't top this. You play Fortnite, you play Call of Duty. We're not even in the same playing field. You're in a soup kitchen while I'm in Taco Bell. Ha! Possibly the reason why I think it's impossible to have a 100% success rate trusting your farts. But yes, Mega Man, if I had to pick the perfect video game, the perfect Jesus, that's a hard word, but if I had to pick the perfect game that represents the perfect video game, it would be Mega Man 2. That's my all-time favorite game, and it is the perfect video game. These days, they don't even make video games anymore. They make more like movies or experiences, gaming experiences. They make console games, they make PC games, but they don't make honest to God video games. Video games were simple. Video games, you saw the screen, you knew the plot, you knew how it was gonna end up, where it was coming, where it was going, you know, you had a little guy, you went around, you jumped around, you shot people, or enemies, or robots, or, you know, animals, or shit, usually bats. Bats and rats in NES games. Surprisingly, every game had those as enemies. I don't care if it was sports games. I think when you played ice hockey, you had to, you know, kill some rats and bats in that too. But yeah, NES Mega Man, it doesn't get any better than this. And also, these are kind of challenging, so, you know, it's not for the weak. So if you're used to playing modern games like Souls games or, you know, Call of Duty Battlefield, I don't know, World of Tanks, these might be out of your league. You're kind of an amateur. But let's move on and stay away from X and those Legends and those footballs and all those. I mean, those are great games too, but this is where it's at. Second game I have on this list, and we're gonna go back in time to where it all began. Actually, I'm not sure if this is technically the first game ever made. I think there might have been something even more simpler before this, but this is kind of where it all started for most of us, and it's Pong. Now I know this is shameful, I only have the PlayStation 1 Pong, which doesn't even, well, I mean, it works kind of the same way. You have two sticks and there's ball in the middle, and you're trying to get the ball behind the other person's stick into their goal. This is fun, but it ain't the OG. I'm just gonna put this down because I feel shamed showing this and talking about the master, the original Pong. Truth is, I did have Pong once. I had one of those 3,000 different clone machines, Pong clone machines that they had, you know, back in the days. I couldn't tell you where the first Pong ever originated. I have no idea, but I do know there was tons of those clone machines. You know, you hooked on your TV and you had those sticks or buttons or whatever. I mean, there were several different types of things. So anyway, mine had two little controllers and there was little stick where you moved your paddle up and down, up and down. Unfortunately, well, I got that once I started collecting retro. You know, I was at the local bar drinking, and you know, the subject came up that I'm collecting retro. So there was this one other drunk guy who said, "Hey, I got that really old shitty Pong machine. You want that?" "Yeah." And I got it. Unfortunately, this was somewhere around 2015, 2016. I can't really remember exactly. We were drunk. We were in a bar, okay? You can't expect me to remember everything. So the guy brings me the console, and I look at it. It had this weird kind of antenna thing you had to hook on your TV. While I was trying to figure that out, how am I gonna get it into my modern TV? Well, I didn't have to think about it too hard for too long, cause it felt kind of wet. Well, actually not wet, it felt sticky. That would have been weird if it felt wet, but sticky. Apparently it had the original batteries from the 70s, and they'd leaked and it was all corroded inside and all that, so never had a working Pong machine, but I did have Pong machine. Got it from a drunk guy at a bar. I appreciate the gesture. That man wanted to gift me one of the precious pieces of gaming history. But unfortunately, he had forgotten about it. It was in his, you know, I don't know, closet or something, and yeah, it was fucked up. But Pong, if you haven't played Pong, well, you're as fake can get. You know, as fake as those Hollywood people who are half plastic, half makeup. I don't even know how they function. Anyway, Pong. Next game on my list that makes you more real than the Easter Bunny, Jagged Alliance. The first one, Jagged Alliance 1. That's right, me and Ricky here, we got our own Jagged Alliance. Now I know there's Jagged Alliance 3 out. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna get it at some point. I'm really interested. I love Jagged Alliance games. There's Jagged Alliance 2, which came after the first one. That's usually how they release games. But even that one, even though it was a magnificent game, a bit too modern. You know, you had your isometric view and all that, and you know, still a great game. Not saying that. But the first one was just straight top down. There was rivers and sand, roads, green grass, forest, that's about it. You know, you went around and you had this whole big ass map that you had to conquer, and you had to hire mercs for the job. There were a lot of mercs, and all of them had their unique voice actings, which was fucking fantastic, because some of those characters, they were so good. If you're gonna play Jagged Alliance, you better have Magic and Ivan in your crew. If someone gives you any lip, shoot them and tell them Magic sent you. But basic idea, turn-based. You move your guy around, maybe you duck, maybe you shoot, maybe you throw a grenade, you go through the map, you try to kill all the enemies and conquer the area you're in, and also you have to check out all the houses and all that, just so you can find medikits or ammo or new weapons, bulletproof vests and stuff like that, grenades. There was all kinds of things, and it got hard, you know, you had to be really, you had to know how to deploy your party of mercs, how to move them around so they won't get shot immediately. It was hard. It was hard. It was like XCOM games. I didn't want to put XCOM here because I've talked about that way too much. So Jagged Alliance, the first one, that one gets to shine this time. I don't know how you can, well, probably on PC you could play Jagged Alliance these days, the first one, but other than that, I don't think there's any way you can play those on your consoles. God damn it, that sucks. That's why I don't have it. There was a time when I was kind of tempted to start collecting PC big boxes. Those were so goddamn awesome. If I would have collected those, I'd have Jagged Alliance 1 and 2 and XCOM games and a bunch of others too, but collecting console games and movies, I just don't have the space for those. That's the second game on this list that I don't own. Well, I own Pong technically. I think Pong actually did have the original in it. There was a mode where you could, but it's not the same. It's not the same. God, I'm starting to feel fake, even by my own standards. Ooh, it's hard to be real. Anyway, we'll just move on. Jagged Alliance, great game. One of the best turn-based strategies. Fourth game on this list, I don't own that either. Although there might have been physical version when it came out during the 90s, but I've never actually seen that live. Hold it in my hand, physically. I have no idea, but I do have that game. I do believe on some of my old Steam count, or maybe GOG count game, good old games, whatever that is, but that was one of those games that was actually worth making some kind of PC account and play PC games again. It's a pretty big deal. Anyway, this game really shows if you're a real gamer or not. Call of Duty, you have your kill-death ratio. How do you think I'm supposed to take that seriously? How do you think that that's supposed to mean anything if you can't run your own goddamn pizza place? I don't give two shits how good you are at killing if you can't make perfect pizza. Fuck off. The game I'm talking about is Pizza Tycoon. Now you might be like, hey, I played that. They're still making those. I'm actually not sure how they did come out with sequel, and I think they remastered that or something, but screw those! The original, Pizza Tycoon, it didn't need any remake. It was perfect the way it was. It was colorful, it looked great, you had the whole world map. You could pick your city, where you want to go, or start your career as a pizza chain. You get to name your pizzeria, you get to choose your character. When you choose the character, they always had that certain amount of money attached to them, so usually everyone played as the Sheik, because I believe he got $100,000 at the start, and there were some who were just broke, who had zero, so you basically had to take a bank loan immediately if you wanted to get things rolling. But I can't stress enough how much I played that game back in the days. I was hooked. I played it all the time. It was so addicting. Well, first of all, I love pizza, which makes getting in shape for the summer kinda impossible. Like I said, exhibiting proofs here why that theory stands, why it's correct. You can't get in shape because there's a thing called pizza on this planet. So anyway, you start your little chain of restaurants and you try to make it. You buy, once you get more money, you can buy another restaurant. You have to buy all the tables and chairs there, which I like, and ovens, and put those there because you have the kind of floor plan of the restaurant you're in. That's not what made that game so great. I mean, that made it pretty fucking great in itself. But if things get tough, you feel like you're not doing really good in the competition, why not throw some rats in the opposition's restaurant? Or take a flamethrower and go destroy his furniture. That's always a great way to sabotage your competition. But that's not the only way to make head in competition. No, you can make some serious money by, selling drugs, selling weapons, which is my favorite. You can get a lot of dough doing that, so yeah, that's great. But also there's like mafia in the game, and I'm having kind of vague memories from the game. I remember it for the most part, but I think sometimes they might come and ask some protection money, so But you could also use the mafia to go against the other pizza restaurants, so yeah, it was great. Also, there was pizza competitions, which I always loved. They showed certain type of pizza, and you had to create it kind of as exactly as you could. Those were always fun. A big part of the game was creating your own pizzas, and you could always see how people liked that. I just loved that aspect in it. It was a great game. If you can run virtual pizzeria, then winning Fortnite matches is piece of cake. Fifth game I have here is actually number 4 in its series, Gran Turismo 4. Now, why did I pick Gran Turismo 4? I mean, there's Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3 before that, and 5, 6, 7 after that. I personally consider, and it's the undeniable truth because I consider it, Gran Turismo 2 and 4 to be the best ones in the series. The 7th one, right before the 7th, I played some Forza games, and it just felt kind of like that, where they're throwing just way too many cars. You don't really have to put any effort into making money so you can tweak your car and buy better parts and all that, because you get so many cars. You can just switch cars between any races. That's stupid. Anyway, that's not the point. Gran Turismo 2 and 4. Those had, I loved that layout of the map, the whole, you had to go into different dealerships, you could buy used and new cars and all that, it was so great. I just loved it. The racing was great. I loved that always. Then there were the licenses. Man, I think I broke, well, at least like 2 controllers while playing the licenses, because certain time limit, you have to make it through certain thing, certain corner. In the last licenses, you had to make it through certain track. You can't go outside the track at all, or it's failed. It's failed immediately. And the reason why I picked Gran Turismo 4 here, that was the first one that introduced Nürburgring. Well, it's that really long track that takes almost 10 minutes to get around. Let me tell you the license. First of all, it had a lot of grassy fields right next to the track, so you couldn't really lean on the sides, so you had to drive really focused all around that goddamn 10-minute track. But if through some miracle you made it to the end, at least your first couple of drives, you probably took it a bit too safe, and you didn't beat the time that was there. You usually miss it like 10 seconds or something like that. I remember there were times when you missed the time like 1 second, possibly even less than 1 second. God damn it! That Nürburgring, what she said. That track, yeah, I really hated it. I really hated it. But at the same time, it kind of became legendary. So that's why I think Gran Turismo 4 is for real gamers, because they have to deal with the really long German track. It's kind of a, once you have that license where you've beaten that, well, there was bronze, silver and gold. So if you get gold, I tip my hat to you. I never did. I don't think I even got silver. Once I got bronze, I was like, yeah, I'm switching track. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Nope. Not bettering my time on this track. Everything else? Yeah, sure. I don't care. But what she said, the German track. No, not interested. Now I'm kind of wondering, can you get Gran Turismo 4 for PlayStation 5? Isn't it at the PlayStation Store? You'd think it'd be there, possibly Gran Turismo 2, because I kind of want to play those more than Gran Turismo 7, or, new Forza Motorsport games. I jumped into Xbox this generation, and what a waste. Modern car games? Anyway, I've ranted about those way too many times on this channel. If you play modern car games, but not the old ones, come on, chop, leave a mean comment while you're pulling up your pants and getting your ass out of here. It's really hostile video towards the audience, but I'm still not coddling you, you're fake. Oh, and speaking about first-person shooters, remember when they were good? Yeah, that was the time before they invented the internet, or online shooting, online gaming. Before that, first-person shooters kicked ass, they were actually good. Now they're just more relying on stupid apes hating other stupid apes online and just bickering about it all day long. That's why online shooters are so popular, because people are full of hate. That's it. That's the reason. It used to be single player experience and they were great. They were made well. They were just great. Now they're revealing how big portion of gamers are just dumbasses. Hateful dumbasses. I mean, it's not like I've never said to someone online that I fucked their mother, but that was Mortal Kombat. That was a whole different thing. Don't touch me. Where was I? Oh, first-person shooters, the granddaddy of them all. I'm not talking about Doom. No, you silly little things over there who were thinking about Doom. There was one that came before Dooms that revolutionized first-person shooting, because it allowed us to shoot Nazis, and it was Wolfenstein 3D. That's right, you were a man called B.J. Blazkowicz. He should really go with his first names and not shorten it just to, the first letters, B.J. Black. Anyway, despite the name, the game, well, if you look at it these days standards, it's kind of a crummy shooter. You just go straight, you turn, shoot, you can't look up or down really. I mean, there's some mods and obviously like that, which have changed the game a lot, but I'm talking about the vanilla experience, the basic first Wolfenstein 3D that came out in what it was back then. It was great. I mean, we played the crap out of that with friends back in the days. Everyone had Wolfenstein 3D. Well, not everyone. Us nerds had Wolfenstein 3D and we loved it. It was great. I remember first time hearing about it, I had a friend at school who was talking about it. You know how they were killing Hitler? I was, hell? What? I still played like Super Mario. I was, no way there's games like that. Get the fuck out of here. So I visited my friend. Jesus Christ, that was the most brutal thing I've ever seen. You were shooting Nazis, there was blood flying, and I think it had like 3 episodes or 3 chapters or 3 campaigns, whatever that was, and or I'm mixing that with something else like Duke Nukem 3D, but fuck, now I can't remember. I do remember the ultimate last boss was Hitler in a kind of mech suit, or maybe it was just Hitler's head in a robot body. I can't remember. To be honest, I can't tell. I didn't even know really English, and I played it several times after that, older too, but never really gave 2 shits about it, the story, so I can't tell. But he had 2 miniguns. Man, that was a hard boss. But yeah, you got to kill Hitler. If you haven't killed mechanized Hitler, can you even call yourself a gamer? I mean, just get the hell out of here. It's like I'm wasting my time with children. But yeah, first person shooter, real bloody, kill Nazis, simple corridors. What more could fellow ask? If you have any ideas, please do tell, because I need to start asking for more. From life, overall. Anyway, Wolfenstein 3D. And we're down to number 7, last game of this list. And let me tell you a little something about number 7 on this list. It ain't how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit back. I'm just fucking with you. It's actually learning patterns, hit patterns. Cause the last game is Punch Out! Punch Out! That's the last game. If you never played Punch Out, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You know nothing about sports games. At least boxing games. At least NES boxing games. At least boxing games that came out 88, 91. This one came out 91 because this one doesn't have Mike Tyson. I have the edition where there's Mr. Dream as the last guy. Yeah, there were 2 editions because I can't really remember exactly what the reason was why Mike Tyson dropped out. Was it because of the certain accusations with punching and being a bit raped? Or was it that they just run out of the contract or something like that, so they couldn't print more games with Mike Tyson in? That might have been one too. I can't remember. But Punch Out, yeah, number 1 when it comes to sports games, when it comes to boxing games at least. I mean, sure, Fight Night, and I really want to buy that boxing game that came out last fall or start of winter, Undisputed. I have that on my list of games I need to get. I've been thirsting for a new boxing game because boxing is different. It's not like fighting games like Street Fighters and Mortal Kombat and Tekkens. Boxing is more technical. You have to take into account stamina and endurance, and you have to be a bit more tactical. I love that aspect about boxing because, I mean, sometimes you can get someone knocked out fast, sure, but it's not that easy usually, especially when you're kind of tied in stats. Then you gotta take your time. You gotta strategize, you gotta protect your face and your body, and you gotta find openings to take your shots. Now with that all said, yeah, NES Punch Out, this is more like just learning the patterns and knowing when to dodge and when to throw punch, and there's certain attack forms that the enemies have, or the opponents, not enemies. This is boxing, this is not Call of Duty. But yeah, you have to learn those patterns, and let me tell you, those patterns, especially on modern TVs, I'd say this is almost impossible. You have to have one of those old fatty TVs and original NES hardware, so you don't get any lag or anything. That's how this was meant to be played. If there's even tiny amount of lag, trust me, in this game, it matters more than in any game, any modern game out there. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Elden Rings, other Souls games, they're so forgiving. This one, you got lag, you got knocked the fuck out. That's what you get if you have even tiny bit of lag. It makes this almost unplayable. Well, not unplayable. We played this plenty of times with friends with modern equipment, and even though there's lag, we still do kind of okay these days. Well, we always play drunk, so yeah, there's already a bit of a lag in our own default settings. So anyway, Punch Out. If you haven't played Punch Out, I don't think you're in a position to be online to tell other people who are real gamers and who are not. I think you're the biggest fraud if you haven't played Punch Out. What the hell's the matter with you? Go out there, buy Punch Out, start gaming. I think you can get this like Nintendo Online service. I can't exactly remember what games were there, but I think Punch-Out was there. Well, if it wasn't, there's still emulators, so you can still play Punch-Out, so no time for excuses. Get Punch-Out and be a real gamer. And get all those other games on this list too. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much this video on this list, and yeah, if you really want to be a real gamer, you might want to play all the games on this list. That's when I consider you my equal. So yeah, now making it in the gaming world shouldn't be too hard for you. I just basically gave you the keys to the kingdom. But on a serious note, I couldn't give two shits who thinks someone is a real gamer and someone's a fake gamer. If you play games, you're a gamer. It's a weird thing, you know, that gamers just have the energy to fight over online constantly. You don't do this, you're not a real gamer. You do that, you're not a real gamer. You played that game? Oh, but you played it wrong. You're not a real gamer. Well, all you sad sack of shit, you wanna know how you become a real gamer? Just pick this up, turn on the console or PC, start playing something. To me personally, someone like, I don't know, Ninja, who at least was the biggest streamer at one time, played Fortnite and all that, he's just about as real gamer as the old grandma at my workplace who just destroys solitaire every day. I should have put solitaire on this list. And Minesweeper, those are kind of like, consider solitaire and Minesweeper to be honorable mentions. From the late 90s all the way to this day, I still play those every now and then. But yeah, my definition of real gamer is if it plays games and it can be killed by fire, that's a real gamer. Some are obnoxious gamers, like, you know, those who say what real gamers are and what they're not, but they're no more, no less real gamers as the old grandma who plays solitaire at my workplace. Anyway, fuck off, and I'll fuck off, and we'll meet back here when I upload more crap. And yeah, this was kind of I just wanted to do kind of something fictional. There's professional gamers who make money by playing games, who make their living by playing games. That's kind of different, but it doesn't make them any more real. They're playing professionally. Me, I'm just playing for fun, but I'm just as real. Like I said, can be killed with fire and plays games. Those are the two requirements. Keep punching. In Punch-Out, get it! It's so good. And get the all other games. And if you buy one of those Pong clone machines, check the batteries, they haven't leaked, because some of those, yeah, they've been sitting in people's closets since the 70s. So the batteries, they might have leaked. Goodbye.